Hello and welcome to Famous Gays and Lesbians, Alleged and Otherwise. I'm your host, Thomas Connolly. I happen to be a gay actor, and I live in the gayest city of them all, West Hollywood, California. Today's episode is rather controversial because we're alleging that one of the most powerful men in the world is gay, and I'm referring to the one and only Vladimir Putin. It's also reported that he is one of the richest men in the world. He has allegedly made all his billions and billions of dollars off the natural resources of Russia, namely oil, and his exact wealth is unknown. His critics say that he has pocketed most of the money for himself and his oligarch friends, rather than putting it into the health and welfare of the Russian citizenry. It's interesting to note that the Russian government lists Putin's salary at $80,000 a year, yet he has managed on the salary to spend billions and billions on his ultra extravagant lifestyle. This includes his real estate portfolio, his collection of private jets, luxury cars, and yachts. British journalist John Lockett of the Sun newspaper reported that Putin has 43 planes, 7,000 cars, 15 helicopters, and a fleet of 42 yachts. One of his jets, the Ilshinki, is equipped with a $95,000 gold toilet. Even his personal wristwatch collection is estimated to be worth over $300 million. All those beautiful watches, and he still manages to run late. The Russian newspaper Vedomosti recently reported that Putin increased his property value by purchasing a $400 million palace, twice the size of Buckingham Palace, in a highly secure section on the outskirts of Moscow, referred to as Billionaire's Village. And according to the BBC, this is in addition to Putin's already 20 palaces and mansions. Many of these homes are unbelievably extravagant vacation homes. Take a look at this little cozy, quaint number. And he does all this on an $80,000 a year government salary. His most vocal critic and political opponent, Alexei Navalny, has pointed this all out to the Russian citizens. In response, Putin has poisoned him with Novichok gas, and recently he imprisoned Navalny in what MSN News calls a torturous and abusive prison situation. Even President Biden has publicly spoken out about Navalny's harsh treatment as a gross example of human rights abuse. Now, it's important to point out that Russia technically became a democracy in 1987 with free and fair elections every 4 years. However, Putin managed to change the Russian constitution with what he called a quote-unquote referendum, which enabled Putin to be president of Russia for over 20 years now. Many believe that Putin is nothing more than a dictator with obvious control over all these quote-unquote free and fair elections. And it pays well to be in Putin's inner oligarch circle, such as Alexei Mordashov, Vladimir Lisin, and Leonid Mikhelson, as they have multi-billionaire portfolios as well, and all on an $80,000 a year government salary. But nonetheless, Vladimir Putin is the head honcho in charge, a corrupt, narcissistic, raging criminal of a president. No wonder why Donald Trump likes him so much. But what does this all have to do with his alleged homosexuality? Well, I wanted to establish the dubious character of Vladimir Putin before I discuss the revelations of this fascinating biography of Putin by Russian author Stanislav Belkovsky. In his aptly titled book, Putin, the Man Who Wasn't There, the author contends that Putin is gay. Belkovsky contends that Putin is the ultimate personification of Shakespeare's famous quote, "The lady doth protest too much." Quite frankly, Putin puts forth this ultra-rugged, rough, masculine facade to hide his homosexuality. I mean, come on, we've seen countless pics of Putin, usually riding a horse, shirtless, doing manly things like fishing, camping, hunting. Belkovsky goes on to say that this is Psychology 101, an obvious attempt to overcompensate for his latent homosexual status. The author also contends that Putin is the classic example of the self-loathing gay man who goes on to viciously attack the LGBT culture. An example of these attacks are the anti-gay propaganda laws of 2013, which led to the harassment, the torture, and even murder of LGBT people. Putin and his homophobic staff of advisors have publicly said that homosexuality leads to alcoholism, drug addiction, and pedophilia. The horrific treatment of LGBT people in the Russian Republic of Chechnya was recently chronicled in a wonderful HBO miniseries, Welcome to Chechnya. This happened to be produced by a good friend of mine, Jonathan Murray. We were best friends in middle school and high school, right outside Syracuse, New York. The documentary Welcome to Chechnya exposes Russia's underreported LGBT atrocities. It really is a riveting, eye-opening, shocking documentary of what's really happening to LGBT people in the Russian Republic of Chechnya. And while all this homophobia is running rampant through Russia, it's rumored that Putin is having sexual relations with members of his security team. Belkovsky points out that Putin is mostly seen publicly with men. He has never created a heterosexual couple status. The author interestingly compares the image of Putin to other world leaders like George Bush, Barack Obama, and Donald Trump. The author keenly points out that these men are closely associated with their female spouses, Laura Bush, Michelle Obama, Stormy Daniels, Melania Trump. And this is not the case for Vladimir Putin. There is no high-profile female romantic association for him. Also, many of Putin's political and journalistic critics have picked up on the notion that Putin is most probably gay. Journalist Alexander Shurskov began posting this image of Putin in makeup and posting it on the popular Russian social networking site Vankatakta. The journalist Alexander Shurskov was promptly arrested and placed under psychiatric care. So much for freedom of speech in Russia. It was reported that Putin was so bent out of shape about this feminine image that he insisted that it be included in the official federal list of banned extremist materials. So in conclusion, do we have definitive hardcore proof that Vladimir Putin is gay? No, we don't. But I do believe we have a consensus of evidence that points in that direction. After all, the lady doth continue to protest too much. I better shut up or I might be placed under psychiatric care. Well, that's about it for this episode. And please keep an eye on what's happening to Alexei Navalny. If anybody could lead Russia into a healthier, better, more humane direction, I believe that he's the man. Well, this is Thomas Connolly for Famous Gays and Lesbians, alleged and otherwise. If you like what you see, could you please like and subscribe? That would really help sustain our show. Until next time, bye-bye.